All right.
Two things. One, you're an asshole. And two, what horrible thing almost killed you this time?
What? What do you mean?
Well, I feel like every time there's a gap between our reviews, something horrible to you has happened.
Oh, I should clarify before we embark on this. I'm currently on steroids.
No shit.
I'm on steroids because the throat infection that kept me from the Black Panther review 4 weeks ago is still fucking kicking my ass.
Yeah, I can hear it a little bit.
It was so bad. It was really crazy because there was one point where I would literally lean forward.
I listened to the audio clip you sent me.
Oh, I sent you one too. Okay, not a lot of people got that before it went away. Very few people got to hear Muha the Frog. So it was...
I'm tempted to play it.
I'm tempted to find it. It's actually a pretty great moment. But it may... I don't know if this retains
We'll get to the movie in a second, but...
It's amazing what can happen to your voice if a little something in your throat changes.
Wait for it.
Oh, this is so bad.
You realize that talking probably isn't helping you?
Probably. What about when I lean forward? Get that weird little... Oh, wait. No. Oh, wait. There it is. Getting to the weird Kermit voice.
Have you ever seen Worst Cooks in America?
No.
This is an actual quote from it.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
So that happened.
Like
that was
literally the sound of my throat settling when I leaned forward. It changed my voice that much, and it was, oh god, I sounded like some, you know, the meth head they find in the junkyard who actually has like the crystal ball, like in some movies, like.
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's that character.
Okay.
Like Mystery Man with John Gat, like that guy.
Okay. But the reason I called you an asshole, outside of the fact that you almost died again.
Oh yeah.
It's like before I keep in mind, it's Friday. I'm fucking tired. It's been a long fucking week, and I rushed from work to go see this movie because you saw it earlier this morning. Now, we talked about this morning. You said, "Okay, I'll go see it at 11 a.m." and I was like, "Okay, I'll go see it 5:45. We'll meet up afterwards to talk about it." So I sit through this movie, and I get out, and I'm on the road. I'm like, all right, we're gonna meet in Campbell. So I text you, I was like, all right, I'm on my way. And you go, you're on your way for what?
Do you want to just read it out?
Yeah,
okay.
Word for word. It says, on my way, ETA 17 minutes.
On your way? For what?
Review.
What review? Tonight?
Parking lot in Campbell?
What movie?
Thoroughbred. I thought we talked about this morning.
Oh, I heard that was good.
That's when I started to catch up. It was
like, wait a minute.
And I was like, oh, you're fucking with me.
And I'm like, you're too much fun. I'll see you soon, you asshole.
So you almost gave me a goddamn heart attack. It's like, did I just waste an hour and a half of my time?
I think it's funny to troll people with knowledge that I clearly have.
I don't know.
We talked about me seeing this hours ago.
I had two thoughts immediately afterwards. It was like, was he fucking high when he texted me this morning? Followed by, did someone take his phone?
I mean, that's a valid question for anyone in California these days. It is somewhat legal.
And the second thought was like, is someone on his phone and fucking with me? No, it was you on your phone and fucking with me.
Of course.
So, all that being said, we saw Thoroughbred, which is a movie that I actually wanted to see because it looked interesting from the trailers.
I did too. I actually, I forgot to look this up, but I'm pretty sure that, the one actress is the
one girl's from Split.
Thompson from she may have been in Split as well, but she was from The Witch. You remember?
I did see The Witch. I'm trying to remember who she was in The Witch. Was she the main girl in that movie?
The main girl.
Yeah,
she
same
looks
actress.
very different. Blonde.
Yeah. Same actress.
Very demure.
Yeah, she was also
quiet.
in Split, which movie I actually really liked.
I didn't see Split yet. I wanted to see that.
You'll like Split.
So I heard.
That definitely struck me as your kind of movie.
Oh, shit.
And yeah, it was Anton Yelchin's last movie, too.
How long ago was this made?
2006.
I totally forgot that was the dude who died.
Yeah, like...
That's so sad.
Yeah, it was like 2006, 2016. I know this because when they see the text message later on, like halfway through the movie, it said 2016 on there. So that's...
Right. And I was right about the other girl. I saw her in Bates Motel.
I knew I'd seen her somewhere.
Yeah. I haven't seen season 5 yet. Oh, it just got on Netflix. I'm so ready.
I still haven't watched season 1. I still gotta.
Oh my god, dude, it gets so good.
I'm catching up on so many goddamn TV shows.
It's such an unsettling, small show, but at the same time, it's really well.
I remember I watched it, like, for season 1, I liked it.
Freddie Highmore is fucking fantastic.
Things came up and I just lost track of time.
The whole thing is over now. All 5 seasons. Fifth season was the last one, and it's all on Netflix now. And I've been waiting for season 5 to get added from Netflix. I'm a huge fan of this show. It's creepy in all the right ways.
Yeah, it's on my watch list. That's how I'm getting around to it. Like I watched Jessica Jones season 2, and I'm working my way through.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
And I'm working my way through Doctor Who.
So much TV these days.
Oh yeah.
It feels weird because now it's like now that Netflix has so much stuff and it's all reasonably good, it's hard to.
With some exceptions.
Let's reasonably. And then like it felt like when there were less Netflix shows that had, there was a higher quality and more anticipation for each one. Now it's like every week it's like, here's 3 new specials. Like, okay, well, I don't have that much space in my life for documentaries. So.
And you can't pay me that much to go watch Bright. So
I know I have to watch it.
I
watched Suicide Squad. I have to watch Bright.
I'm so sorry.
So, Bright can't be as bad as Suicide Squad.
You say that.
It can't. It couldn't have been given to 2 different editing companies and spliced together by the studio in a fucking Hail Mary.
Should we actually talk about Thoroughbred?
Yes, probably. Well, there's other stuff to talk about. But,
yeah, I'm sure we're working on tangents. Is it a you and me review?
Thoroughbreds. I like this movie a lot more at the beginning than I did by the end.
See, I actually like the second half better than like the first half.
Really?
I felt the pacing was better. Really, when Anton showed up, I liked because I felt like he had a lot more charisma. He brought some energy to it. I thought Anton was great in this movie.
He was decent. I just feel like he hammed it up a bit.
Which honestly, maybe that's why I liked it. I tend to like a little more. I tend to like a little scene tunery. Scene chewery. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But
I feel like that could have been an earnest character.
In a movie that's already populated by psychopaths, he felt right at home to me.
He just felt like a deluded kid.
Yeah. He was still a good deluded kid.
Let's cover, like, first off, cinematography, fucking
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Execution of the film is on point.
Writing's fantastic.
The writing is great. The score's
really good.
Interesting.
This movie does a lot of interesting things, and that's what makes it kind of a hard film to talk about. Because, like, it seems like kind of a straightforward teen thriller.
Did you see Krisha, something like that?
No.
It was a movie that had a similarly percussive soundtrack. It was very instrumental to making the movie feel the way it did.
Yeah, and this movie, but it feels like it was teen thriller directed by a kind of artsy-fartsy director.
It felt like somewhere between something darker and something like that Sofia Coppola would direct.
I can see it's a Sofia Coppola movie.
It's not quite a Sofia Coppola movie. It's marketed as one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does have a bit more control and I think dignity with how it goes about what it does.
I can see that. Yeah.
Some good long takes in there too.
Oh yeah, like
great long shots.
there are some very creative uses of music and angles and sound in particular.
Yep.
Which is very, very clever. Other times, I can almost kind of feel the director saying, ask me what it means. But, mostly with the rowing machine thing, I was kind of like, all right.
I mean, the symbolism of the rowing machine wasn't exactly thick. It was a pretty simple parallel.
No, I'm agreeing, but it's also like one of those...
It's like the metronome of her suffering, just picking away at her head like...
Yeah, and I more or less got that.
Yeah.
It was more of it's so deep. Ask me how deep I am. Then again,
I didn't get that as trying to be deep. I get that as just like a constant reminder.
Fair enough.
Then
again, maybe I just been really hard on movies lately that I feel like I've been trying to deep and really fucking aren't. Maybe it's because I watched...
If I watch the last few reviews, will I just watch you slowly losing your mind?
Honestly, kind of, yeah.
Which movies did it? I want to see this. Those are always fun.
First, it was Death Wish.
Oh no! No! How bad?
Pretty damn bad. It was more like, do you want to see Eli Roth talk about gun control?
Ooh.
And try to take the middle ground.
In Death Wish.
In Death Wish.
Try to take the middle ground on gun control in Death... Did he direct it?
Yeah, he directed it.
Death Wish is an Eli Roth movie?
It is an Eli Roth movie. And a lot of it's like, this doesn't feel like an Eli Roth movie. That's something violent happens like, oh, there he is. There's Eli Roth.
Shit, now I kind of have to see it.
No, you don't. No, you don't do it.
As long as it's not Green Inferno, man.
Green Inferno's pretty god-awful.
Yeah.
And then it was Red Sparrow the following night.
That looks pretty contrived.
I hope you like rape scenes.
How many?
I counted, if I'm including attempted rape, at least 5.
Counted?
Yeah. The trailers for that movie are wildly misleading.
Oh.
They're less Black Widow and more glorified hookers.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's a lot of rape.
A lot of rape.
It was really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
With no point, really.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, you know what? Those movies have been awful. No one's free tonight. And this was yesterday. It's like, okay, what's out right now? Okay, I gotta go see the fucking Disney movie.
Which?
And that brings us to A Wrinkle in Time.
Oh. It's a Disney movie?
That's a Disney movie.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then I think I literally started that review by just yelling the word fuck.
All right, I have to watch it then. I'm not gonna watch the movie, so fuck spoilers. I've read the book. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter. Okay, so Thoroughbreds.
So this is like my palate cleanser in a way.
Okay, so I can see how this might be. All right.
And then before Death was also Annihilation, which is a movie I did not particularly like.
Oh my God, really?
I didn't like it.
Oh, it's fucking fantastic.
We're gonna have to agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah, no, that's a great movie.
I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't really give a shit.
Oh, okay. Well, I was kind of prepared for that because I've read the book.
See,
In the book, I did not give a fuck what happened to any of the characters. I hated the book initially.
It's a very visually interesting film. I will give it that.
I also disagreed with how they did a lot of the visuals. I also disagree with a lot of shit that they changed from the book. But at the same time, for what it is, and considering that they're clearly trying to make it a single movie as opposed to the trilogy, I will give them the fact that they made a pretty competent movie out of what is pretty much an unfilmable book.
For me, it's more like I'm big on characters, so I don't give a shit about your characters. I don't give a shit about your movie. That's really what it boils down to. I can't really think of many movies that break that trend. Even 2001: Space Odyssey had characters that I at least gave some shit about at some point.
Sure.
But
Natalie Portman's character isn't exactly the most compelling.
No, like there was a lot of things that a lot of plot holes that made no sense to me, and that got really frustrating after a while. Like, you sent several teams into the giant mystery mist that you have no clue what is actually going on there. You walk in there with no protective gear.
Did they have protective gear when they went in?
They had guns, because as the last few teams showed, that worked so well for them.
Yeah, well, I mean...
And then they go in there with no gas masks.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just walked in like, what's the worst that can happen? Wake up 4 days later.
Yeah.
That pissed me off right off the fucking bat. It was like... And this is when I yelled out in Wrinkle. I almost yelled out really loud in the theater for Wrinkle in Time, because there's an adopted brother whose name is Charlie or Charles, but they never call him just Charles. They call him by his full name every time they say his name, and it was pissing me off.
I could
so
see that.
much.
I could see that slowly eating away at you. I wish I went with you for that. That sounds so fascinating.
Because it was like, Charles Wallace, and they're literally like, call him Charles! His name, sorry, I was really mad. I'm gonna roll down the window because it's hot in here.
Maybe they were paired with CW for it.
And it's like, because the sister called him, the mother called him that, the random friend, like the random love interest I've calls him that.
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of this in the review, but Thoroughbreds.
Sorry.
Oh boy,
it's a you and me review. This happens.
Do you have any real feelings you would like to let out about?
Thoroughbreds?
How do you really feel about Wrinkle in Time?
You can watch the review for that. That's me having a temper tantrum for 40 minutes.
That's awesome.
That's what happens with your reviews by myself.
Back to Thoroughbreds.
So,
let's get on this.
Let's actually talk about this.
I actually...
I feel like a timestamp when the review actually starts.
Yeah, right. I enjoyed the first half of the film more because I liked the building of the relationship between the characters.
And that was good.
I liked the initial part where... God, I can't even remember their names. That's how...
I just call like ginger sociopath and black hair sociopath.
All right. Well... All right. Fuck it, we have IMDb.
It's like, wasn't it even like Julie?
Lily and Amanda, right.
I was way off.
So,
right.
what the fuck?
I don't know.
So, Lily I like the part where Amanda calls out Lily and she finally drops the front.
Yeah, and that was good. Like it's very well acted.
Yeah,
that
even
was
when
they're
the
being
moment-
subtle. Like it's being very well acted.
Very good acting in the movie. And I also really enjoyed that little play back and forth of them not quite trusting each other and looking into each other and finding out stuff. I like the way that the characters get more and more revealed about them as the plot progresses. However, I feel like the writer didn't have a good ending in mind, and they just kind of did something.
Yeah, I didn't really like the ending either.
It kind of just ended.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I mean, I did kind of like how what's it, ginger sociopath Lily. Amanda. Okay. Amanda was the actual clinically diagnosable sociopath.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I kind of liked
what
how
actually happened with the horse. I think that was a really nice.
Yeah, like those.
That was
things,
an interesting scene.
No, I completely agree, and I like how her story ended.
Yeah.
I thought Lily's story just kind of dropped.
Also, point on the side, the game of chess she plays, very, very traditional opening gambit for the center squares. It was actually really interesting to watch her play chess, and I'm like, no, that's what you're supposed to do.
See,
that's how this goes.
Chess is one of those games I like, but I'm terrible at it.
Chess is one of those games that I use to figure out what people are.
So you're smart.
It's like if someone knows how to play chess and you play chess with them, you can see how they approach things.
Yeah, and I kind of learned something about myself when I play chess too.
Yeah, it's fasciinating. It's really fascinating. And I'm a chess nerd.
I've gotten beaten every time I played, but
I got beaten when I was a kid. I used to play chess against my dad, and he stopped playing with me once I beat him.
I mentored a kid for a while, and he kicked my. I thought let's make a learning experience. I'll teach him to play chess. But apparently he not already knew, but he was way better than me, and he spanked me. Like
kids who have like hidden pattern recognition potential.
Yeah.
Like they can look at a chessboard and be like, okay, these are the possibilities, and it's crazy.
See, anyway, I could do that too, but I was always making that one fucking mistake
there's always
every time. There's always that
too much information.
Yep.
But yeah, anyway. It was cool to watch her actually play chess during that conversation.
Should we go briefly over the story, not without giving necessarily any spoilers away?
Well, I mean, I kind of felt like I wish I hadn't watched the trailers.
Yeah, we don't get too much in the second act, but just like the setup.
Yeah, but the setup could have been a big part of it. I feel like in watching the trailers, if I had, well, I'm assuming we're gonna just spoil anything that has been spoiled in the trailers.
Yeah.
La la la. But I feel like the way that you find out when the suggestion to kill the stepfather is first dropped,
yeah,
I feel like that could have been a moment in the movie where you're like, whoa, this is darker than I thought it would be. I thought it would just be two like teenagers bitching at each other and like maybe growing a rivalry and like doing some teen social plays against each other or something, but
nope, just murder.
Yeah, it's just a really.
I don't know, like at the same time, okay, for just very quickly setting this up. So the movie's about these two teenage girls, one named Lily, one named Amanda. Lily is a super rich, has a super rich stepfather that she hates, and is her mom kind of.
Amanda's mom is also wealthy. Amanda's also
okay. They're both wealthy. I wasn't sure if that was.
I mean, she owns horses.
Okay,
they used to play together when they were kids. Like these people always
I missed
come from
that
money.
part. I missed that part. But anyway,
you missed the ending shot with her looking at the picture of the two of them on the horses. As
I was
kids
really
together.
tired.
You missed a bit.
I caught the picture, but my brain wasn't registering that is what it's about. Just like, oh, they're horses. But now that you mention, now I get it. Anywho.
Also might be part of the reason why she contacted Lily in the first place. Because the horse was a memory of the times that they used to actually be friends.
Uh-huh.
And having to kill it with her own bare hands in an attempt to save its life just kind of fucked her up in a way that she doesn't really quite know, because even though she's a sociopath, she recognizes good feelings and she misses people and she cares about people on a certain level. And
see, this is why I'm glad you're on this review.
Just saying.
No, I mean, it's a very valid point, and I'm too tired to even think about that on that level right now.
I feel like Amanda's character in the film is tremendously sympathetic in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I can see that.
She is a psychotic child.
Yeah.
But at the same time, her being a sociopath, like she says at the beginning of the movie, it doesn't mean she's a bad person. It just means she has to work a little harder to be good.
Yeah.
So...
And I like that.
Yeah, whereas Lily is a bad person.
Yeah.
Lily is legitimately a bad person. And there's that one point where where Mark, like, you know, tells her off in the kitchen.
Yeah. And he's kind of right.
He's absolutely right. He's totally right.
Yeah.
And that was I really thought the movie was going to take, like, an actual moment to flip it and turn into something else that I wasn't expecting, but it didn't.
Nope.
But it was still really refreshing to... No, stay there. It's good lighting.
I say I'm paying him, but I got no money.
It was really refreshing to see in that movie that they did confront the fact that this is a child who is not entirely in control of her emotions and her facilities and has come from a very bad situation, and maybe she's trying to stay in school and everything on a certain level. She plagiarized or whatever. I don't know why he has to be such a dick and send her to the school with, like, disciplinary issues. He's clearly abusive towards her mother.
Yeah.
Do you like the touch where every time her mother's speaking, it looks like she's in pain?
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
Yeah, like,
but
it was kind of disturbing.
But every time he's not in the screen with her, she's always like, "Oh, Mark likes this and Mark's like that." And every time he shows up, it's like, "Oh, suddenly like the dynamic completely shifts."
Yeah, nothing really to say.
Yeah, nothing really to say. Just clearly in control. Like, I don't know. He kind of struck me as a sociopath too, and I was kind of wondering if, like, the first.
He's just an abusive husband. He's just a dick.
I don't know. I was noticing some clues there, like just the eyes. There's something dead about the eyes, and it was kind of freaking me out.
That strikes me as someone who's just done with their stepchild.
See, I didn't get that. Like, that was the case
You're
where
a
I was
spoiled teenage girl living off of my money.
I'm not saying that she wouldn't piss me off, too.
Me. I'm in, like, what does he do? He juices?
It wasn't so much that.
Where does his money come from?
It was so much that the way he was looking at Amanda was particular. Like, to me, that, like, I kind of
resentful.
Was that
resentful?
To me, I don't know. It kind of looked like. To me, I kind of read it as, like, one psychopath immediately recognizing another one.
I'm taking it within the context of what you find out later in the film,
which is fair.
In the sense that he's not necessarily a psychopath. He's just a pissed off dude, and he's not a nice guy. But at the same time, like, what is his, like? You don't really understand much about his character or his personality or his morality. All you know is that he's angry that she's living off of him and he's tired of putting up with her shit. And on a certain level, fair. On another level, fuck that guy. Yeah. I really don't... There's no clear moral line in this film.
No.
And strangely enough, in the middle of all of it, Amanda's the one who brings it. Even though she's the one...
Oddly enough.
Even though she's the one who initially proposes the idea of murdering him, from her perspective, she is genuinely staging a philosophical debate as to whether or not it's a net bonus for this man to be killed.
Yeah.
Like, is it a net positive in terms of the suffering versus the good he brings into the world? Which is a very sociopathic way to look at it.
Yeah.
That's quantitative morality.
I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
And that's an actual philosophical path that you can take, and it's coldly logical. It refuses any other level of, like, good or bad. It's just like, what's the sum? That's a lot of what's used in to justify actions of war. So
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So when you're dealing with somebody like that who's just like, well, have you thought about killing him if he's that bad? And then they start going through with it, and she decides that this is the right thing to do. Not out of spite, not out of revenge, not out of emotion, because it's the right thing to do. And then when you get to the point in the movie where Lily's like, we need to kill him. She's like, I don't think you're in the right place to be making this decision right now. You should wait. Like, it's interesting. Amanda is an interesting center to this film.
Yeah, and like that's kind of a good way to put this movie too. It's interesting. I'm not sure if I liked it.
I liked a bunch of things about it.
Because it's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
Like it's not like in the case of Annihilation where I just like, no, I would say that's a bad movie, but a pretty bad movie. I know you liked it. Go
It's as an adaptation, it did what it could. I seriously, like, with Annihilation, I was really disappointed about the fact that they took out some really central concepts in the film, like the tower.
Which I have no context for.
Exactly. There is something that they call the tower, even though it leads underground. So it's like an inverted tower, but for some reason they're drawn to it and they feel like calling it the tower. And when they go down into it, it's like a spiral staircase going down, and there are words written on the walls with the spores. And there's something patrolling it. And they're not sure what it is. And the fucked up thing is that you don't find out what it is. The thing that pissed me off so much about Annihilation, the book, is that by the end of it, you don't find out anything. They don't explain anything. The whole point of the first 2 books is to set up mysteries for the 3rd book to answer. And I can't tell you how infuriating that was. But
I'm getting from your vibe here.
The second book, I knew what I was getting into. Mm-hmm. And I knew that this guy was not going to discover a bunch of the mysteries. And I wanted to find out more. Like, I was really compelled by the different things he was finding out, because he had my perspective. A guy coming into this whole thing being like, what the fuck is going on here? Why are these people acting so weird? These people are obviously hiding something. What's with all these expeditions? What do you mean there were 36 expeditions instead of 11? Like, what? What do you mean there's video footage that came back? And, like, there's all this stuff. And in the end of the movie, like, they brought down the Shimmer.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen. Like, in the second book, the fact that the Shimmer still exists is very important, especially at the end of it. Like, there were so many things that they just pulled in from the second and third books and just tied it up in its own way. And I don't know, it's standard book to film adaptation, but for the things they changed to make it its own little thing, I liked seeing it put to film. And
Fair enough.
And the bear scene was legitimately freaky.
Skull Bear?
Yeah.
That's what I call
That was a really cool scene.
Like, that was a joke I was making when the trailers came on, and it's like, can you describe its form? No, I can. Skull Bear! Plant deer!
The screams coming out of its mouth.
Yeah, well, that was stuff that was cool, but like...
That reminded me of, like, stories I've read about skinwalkers and shit, and I've never seen that put to film quite like that.
The part that I think... We'll get back to... Thoroughbreds in a second.
Yeah.
The part that really just like that when that said like I'm fucking done with this movie.
Yeah.
Was when they actually gave the explanation of how the Shimmer works, and my science brain went, nope, not even close. That's not what that means. You could have used any other word. You picked that one.
Refraction.
Refraction is like that's not how refraction works.
It's not that. I don't even know if refraction is how the books did it, because they haven't revealed it yet, and I just started the third one.
I don't know. I know it's dumb. Like that was when I said like that was like I think I compared it to.
It's the wrong word perhaps, but I like the idea of like DNA mixing and matching.
Then you could have used DNA mixing or matching or like gene editing or like I don't know, evolving, any kind of variation. Therefore, you went with refraction, and I studied refraction because I took light and like prisms and shit. I studied this shit. Yeah. I know this because I was so mad. I like did like the shirt trick and looked up what refraction means just to make sure it meant what I thought it meant. And then I leaned over to Grell like, that is fucking bullshit.
Okay. But science nerdy aside.
No, like that thing's the point. Like, I made this joke in the review, I'm gonna say it again now. It's like, there's a comedian that was talking about 2012, and so, like, same thing where it's like, the reason they give for the whole world, it's like, we've found some great new results, like, some results, what's going on? New neutrinos have mutated and are heating up the planet. It's like, for those who do not know, neutrinos are like billions and billions of particles every second of the day. They can't fucking mutate.
Yeah.
You might as well look down the camera and go, the electrons are angry. And that's basically what Annihilation said.
Okay, fine, but that stupid bit of writing aside, the concept, neat. Execution, neat.
Sure. It's all fucking refraction.
Fuck your refraction. It's. I liked how it was pulled off for the most part, although I was really conflicted about the ending, simply because I loved how it looked. I loved how it looked, but it was absolutely not.
You mean like the only movie to ever play the mirror gag straight?
Oh, God. Well, there was that, but at the same time, the trippy ass like creation machine thing that the
glowing sphincter.
Yeah, the glowing fractal sphincter. That thing was awesome. I would just sit there and like stare at that thing all day.
I was pretty checked out by that point too. So by the time I got to that point, I'm like, can this movie fucking be over?
Those are my favorite visuals, trippy visuals I've seen in a movie since fucking Enter the Void.
I never saw Into the Void.
Oh, it's.
Like I think the movie a comparison I made.
It's quite an empty, pointlessly difficult to sit through movie. Okay. I love it.
I think like the closest comparison I made compared to a movie I actually liked was that Scarlett Johansson movie that came out a few years ago.
Under the Skin.
Under the Skin.
I haven't seen that yet.
You haven't seen? Yeah, I thought for sure you've seen.
I bought it. It's sitting there, but I want a point where I can sit down and just shut everything else out and be like.
See, that's a legit movie, a lot like Annihilation that I actually legitimately really liked.
Jonathan Glazer doesn't fuck around.
Oh, it's a great movie. Go watch it.
Yeah, okay, I will. But
anyway,
Thoroughbreds.
I think it kind of sums up how little we have to say about this.
No, that's the thing.
All is
Thoroughbreds is a bunch of really decent writing and really decent acting and really it's a well-made movie. It's pleasant to watch, but expect something that's more of an indie film than it tries to come across as. It has. It's being marketed as more. It has. I don't even know if I'd say it had higher aspirations, because it seems like it was a film that was good for the little thing that it was, and that it was a lot quieter than it was marketed as.
Yeah.
And then the big company got it and they're like, "Oh, this is a good movie. Let's sell it a bunch."
Yeah, like the trailers kind of painted more as like a quirky murder comedy.
Yeah, they said it's like Heathers. It's not like Heathers.
I haven't seen Heathers.
It's nothing like Heathers. Heathers is where the phrase "fuck me gently with the chainsaw" came from.
I have not heard that phrase before, and I love it so much.
No, it is. Heathers.
Did it actually fuck him gently with a chainsaw?
You gotta see it. It's one of those movies where like they plan on killing people sometimes and sometimes they don't, and when they don't, they're like, "Ah, damn it!" like it's that kind of movie.
Ooh, it sounds like my kind of movie.
Yeah, and Thoroughbreds is not that kind of movie.
No,
it does not have the. There's no quirky comedy in it. There's a
some
couple
of the dialogue.
Some of the dialogue is a little overly clever.
Yeah.
And some of there are definitely a couple good jokes that come from the fact that Amanda's so creepy.
like the part when like she's trying to walk past, she's like, no, not Anton Yelchin. It's like, like when they first like decide to actually become friends again. Like there's a part where she's walking past and Amanda just like this kind of moment she like jumps back.
She jumps back. She's freaked out. She's like, what? And she's like, I'm sorry. I thought. So, like she was trying to hug her, but she's like just so unused to human contact that she was like, ah!
And she's like, oh, the way you did that, I thought I was being attacked.
Yeah, it's like it felt like an attack. And she's like, all right, so you want
there.
Awkward hug. It was fun. I was the only person in the theater laughing at this part. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah, see? There are points where that humor is there, but it feels like it's just... it was played up to be a lot more like some bling ring Spring Breakers bullshit than it actually is. It's actually a pretty quiet movie with some really good dialogue and some pretty deep character development.
Yeah, I was expecting the dad to be in the movie more.
Yeah, he just shows up a couple times. And then the ending, like I said, the ending really feels like it's kind of out of the blue. Like when she pulls out the Rohypnol thing. Like when she brings up,
thing?
Yeah, when she brings up the roofies, I'm like, wait, how did we get to this point?
And like that being said, the use of sound and visual effects in that scene I thought was really good.
No, the sound design and score and cinematography in the film is impeccable.
Oh, here's one thing that the movie did I thought was actually really clever, is the fact that a lot of violent things happen in the movie, but they never show it. They only talk about it.
Yeah.
And they only give reactions of other people listening or looking at like the end result.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really
Well-
clever because no matter what happened, your imagination is going to fill in those blanks.
Even though I knew what was happening,
Yeah.
when she showed up covered in blood, I still gasped.
Yeah, because I
It's
thought
a shocking visual.
It is, and I
amidst
think the
this whole
reason
movie.
because of that, and it's something that I wish more movies did, is if again they don't show it, you just hear it, and you see the end result.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Reservoir Dogs.
The only other thing, the part of moment in violence in the movie that really shone was when they bashed Anton Yelchin over the head.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I thought that was a pretty funny scene.
That was great.
Just in the background, and so like Anton having this big like dialogue, be like, "You're not gonna shoot me. You don't have the balls to shoot me." And just Amanda in the background, just very slowly walking towards him with the giant fuck off lamp, and just goes, "Kung."
I also very much appreciate that they didn't insert the standard pottery breaking sound when they did the lamp smash.
It's more realistic.
Because you hear that in everywhere from fucking. From any movie where anything that's supposed to be made of clay or anything like that breaks, to fucking video games like God of War when you're breaking like clay pots to get coins and health.
Or
It's
Legend of
the
Zelda.
same sound. I noticed this shit because I'm neurotic about sound and shit. And there's that one specific car impact sound of like metal, like the metal creaking, like I can't make it with my mouth.
You know, that's one I noticed a lot. Oh, sorry. Let's go.
Same door opening sound effect in a lot of movies.
I guess everyone's got the same royalty-free site.
It's the stock kit.
You know what I always notice? A lot of people don't notice, but I notice this guy grew up on the Godzilla films. Is the Godzilla roar pops up in so many places than you would ever. Anytime.
It's a good reference.
It is. Well, it's not even a reference. I think they used it just to like make some kind of obscure monster noise. Like
It's its own
even
little-
like the Avengers cartoon used it, and that's when I first noticed it. And ever since I noticed it keep popping up everywhere.
I think it's more like the Wilhelm scream.
Kind of like I at the same time I'm also wondering if that maybe just that roar isn't trademarked for whatever reason.
It probably is.
Like maybe
Well,
there's a lot
wasn't
of like,
the original Godzilla like? Isn't it technically? Are the rights still like held?
not for the original, like not very original. I think it's kind of the same place like King
Isn't
Kong.
it? Yeah, like domain. Isn't it public domain now?
Yeah, I'm
Like
pretty
Night
sure
of
it's
Living Dead and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's public domain.
Yeah, so they could use that sound whenever they wanted.
Exactly.
And they would have to do it intentionally though. That's not a stock sound. The Godzilla sound is iconic, and any sound
Well,
person worth their
they
salt
don't do like
using
the
it.
big roar. They do like the companies coming down from the big roar. That's the sound I notice a lot of the time.
Well, I'll have to pay. I haven't heard that too much.
Because I know because I grew up on that fucking sound.
Sure.
So like anyway.
Anyway.
But Thoroughbred, like, and like I said, I did like the fact that the way it was shot, the way like it's very a well-made film.
Yes.
And I did like that it left like a lot of the violent stuff to my imagination because what appears in my imagination is much more horrific than whatever actually shows up, which I thought was a very clever trick on the movie maker's part.
I expect to see interesting things from this director moving forward.
What else?
Corey Finley.
What else is he or she done?
Corey Finley. Corey
It sounds like an Irish James Bond.
Finley.
Hey, my name is Corey. Corey Finley.
Corey Finley. It's not fucking loading. I don't know what the hell's. Hang on. Corey Finley.
Apparently, you got like no signal here, dude.
Yeah, my reception's garbage.
Anyway.
Cricket wireless. Woo. I don't even have VPN on. What is this? It makes no sense.
Anyway, so what trailers did you get?
Oh, I arrived literally right on time.
How do you always do that?
I got there literally like as it was like, turn off your cell phones, like at the end of the trailer. And then I got settled in, I took my jacket off, and then as I was putting my jacket away, the credits came up and I'm like, Michael's gonna love this.
You're a fucking wizard.
15 to 20 minutes, that's your leeway. That's how it
true.
goes.
No, I've abused that before too.
It was because there was a showing at the Great Mall at like 12 something, and there was a showing at Cine Arts at 11:40, and I was like, I can make the Cine Arts showing and not have to deal with nearly as much rush hour traffic on the way back. So I rushed to make it, and I did it. I made it.
Which was the smart choice.
I make those sometimes.
I mean, like, for me, I was only 5 minutes away from the theater, so it was pretty easy for me. But, like, nah, I think the one I got, like... Have you seen that fucking Truth or Dare trailer?
No, I refuse. Thoroughbreds
dude.
is his only real big thing. He's directed like a short.
But, dude, I kind of want to see that. It looks so bad.
I have to wonder.
What is that?
The people behind it aren't exactly terrible.
I mean, it's Blumhouse. They've made some...
It's hit and miss. So they've gotten some hits out of things I didn't expect to like The Conjuring. I did not.
That does Blumhouse films, isn't it? I never saw the first one. I saw the second one, which is good.
Generally, whenever I've seen something by James Wan, it's been like...
It depends on how many Insidious movies you've seen.
I haven't seen those yet, but I just do know that, like, when it comes to James Wan stuff, it's like, it's always, it's as bad as you think it'll be, but it's also usually has something about it that's better than you thought it would be.
That's fair. Yeah, I can see that.
It knows the schlock that it is, and it tends to do something a little more with it.
And I heard the Insidious movies are kind of these unintentionally hilarious ones.
Yeah, but I also heard that they have moments.
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyway.
I saw the second one, but I haven't seen anyone since then.
I think we're about done with this, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any trailers. Oh, did you get the Tully trailer? Oh, I forgot you didn't watch it.
No trailers for me! All right, I'm done here. I'll see you guys then.
All right. I haven't seen you in like over 2 months.
I gotta go.
I haven't seen you since Jigsaw, man.
Oh, God. That was really the last one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right?
That's sad.
Well.
All right. Well, anyway.
Anyways.
Yeah,
I got nothing else either. So,
well, I have had that throat infection for the past month, so.
Yeah, you have an excuse.
Steroids.
Yay. I can use like this fucking pinky issue.
That's not what steroids do, buddy.
Well, it's for trigger finger tendonitis. I had a steroid shot, but
well, I don't
think
You should probably see your doctor instead of me.
Probably.
I need my steroids.
Oh, come on, man, share.
No. I only have 10 pills. They're meant to last 5 days.
You can get away with 9.
No. I'm not gonna... I'm sick of this shit. I'm done with it. So, yeah.
All right. So,
anyway.
Yeah. So
we should be done.
I gotta get Gringo. I still gotta probably see tomorrow. And then whatever even comes out next week.
Just text me. We'll figure it out.
All right. See you guys later.
Farewell.